Hi, Linda Anderson from Linda Lou Creates. And as always, I'm so happy you joined me. I'm here to share a couple projects using the Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up. Now this gorgeous paper can be yours free with a $50 order in my online store. I've linked it below in the description, so be sure and check it out. This is one of many items available during celebration, but you better hurry up because you only have until the end of March or while supplies last to get yours. So I can't wait to show you the projects here. This paper just obviously has foil and just lends itself to adding color to it, which if you want, do. You don't have to, and I'm going to show you here the first card using this paper. I hope I don't have too much glare on it. And this is the card I created with it. And it's just the paper, no extra coloring, a simple sentiment, and then I just added some foil to it. Believe it or not, it's the colors of the foil in here is a rose gold and silver, and I use bronze. There's not a lot of it showing, and I thought it just complemented really well, excuse me, with this one. So now I did step it up with the next card, and here it is. So here's where I started adding some color now. So this is the paper with these little petals on it, and what I did was I used my brayer. 3 colors of ink that I used. I used Coastal Cabana, Mango Melody, and Melon Mambo. And you just ink up your brayer and just go, I just went straight across, all right? But then I went back, after I was done applying my 3 colors, then I did go back with the Mango Melody, just to blend it in where the colors sort of overlapped. And I don't know if you can see, but now you have green in there, you have a little of like an orangey red happening in there where those colors overlap. So just some simple strips of the same colors as the ink that I used just to pull that color in, a sentiment, some awesome dies, and there's my card using that one with some added color. So let me bring in, now let me show you this one here. Let me put this out of the way. Here's this paper, plain. What I did was, I actually, believe it or not, and I'm someone who does not like to color, I ended up getting my blends and coloring it up. I just used Flirty Flamingo, a little bit of Daffodil Delight, some of the Granny Apple Green of my blends, both the light and the dark I used on this. And then I just used the light Pool Party to color it all in. Now, this is rather labor intensive, of course, and I honestly did not want to do anything with this 6x6 sheet of paper that I'm sharing with you. I opted to leave that alone, and what I ended up doing was just from another piece, I cut out one of the flowers, colored it up, and this is the card then that I created with that. Just then popped it up onto a circle here with my stitch shapes here, and just some designer series paper, even a little embossing going on here, and I'm happy. Now I have a Mother's Day card made, so I'm actually ahead of the game, if you want to, yeah, so I'm happy for myself there. Now my next one is using this paper, okay? And what I did, let me show you the 2 cards, and I'm going to show you what I did here to create this. I have a his and hers. Okay, they're baby cards, but a boy and a girl, but I'm going to call them my his and her cards. So what I did with the paper was what is called direct-to-paper. And let me show you what I mean by that is I used either Petal Pink and I used Balmy Blue. Let me just open up the Balmy Blue here for a second. And just open it up and just drag it across your paper. Okay, that's all there is to it, the direct to paper. All right, so you do it as much as you want. You know, you can leave it streaked, but once it dries, I do have a piece over here then it does dry a little bit on the lighter side. I could go over this again if I wanted to, but then this is what I used for my cards. So I do have a couple tips regarding these cards. So let me pull out the supplies, because this is the one I want to share with you here, are these two cards. First up, again, the colors. The card base is the top folding that I love to do. It is the 11 by 4 1/4. This is a 5.5 score line here. As far as the front of the card, the white is 5 by 3 3/4. The layer underneath is just 1/8 of an inch bigger, so it's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Like I said, this is the balmy blue. This actually, for the cardstock, I use Calypso Coral here. For my coloring and my ink on the paper, that's Petal Pink. Now, the stamp set that I use, that I started playing, and I can't get enough of using this stamp set, and it's called Witty-cisms. And it is just so stinking cute. For someone who doesn't like to color, I was surprised that I like it as much as I do. And I think it's because it doesn't take much to color. This little stroller, all I did was, again, use my blends, because they're my favorite thing to use. A little bit of dark blended over with a little bit of light, and I have my strollers done. So simple as that. All right, so let's get ahead and get started. Let me just show you a couple things here on the blue one. I will pull that one in. I already have my oval done, so it's just a matter of putting it all together. And as you see, I have it down here. I have it bannered there with I use the triple banner punch, but you don't have to have that. You can actually just trim with your own scissors. So cut, snip up from the center, and then go from corner to corner to that center line. And now you have your banner cut. So either way, you'll be able to do that. All right, so there was one tip there. And let me hurry up and get this put down. All right, like I say, I have this one kind of off center. Just thought it was kind of fun. All right, and now let's get this down to the card. Go. And bummer there, I got some ink on that. I'll find some way to fix that up. So from here, let me just bring in my card base. I went ahead and I stamped a little sentiment that I got from the stamp set called Fable Friends, and I would love to show that to you, but I seem to have forgotten to bring that with me while I'm doing this video. So it's just a cute little darling baby sentiment. So let me make sure I have it going the right way. Don't forget, if you have any extra paper left over, put it on the inside of your card. I just had a little strip that I cut. Again, I banner cut here at the bottom. So all I'm going to do here now is go ahead. I kind of know where I have that folded up there, so I'm going to go ahead and add it right here. There we go. So now the inside's looking pretty cute too. All right, so my quick putting it onto the front. And I have, like I say, I use the stitched shapes to cut out the oval of that, and then just the layering ovals to get the scallop then. My multitude of dimensionals on the back, and I wonder if I could do that. I don't know if I like that. Nope, don't like it. I'll see what I can do otherwise. Put a bow or something there, so to cover up my little ink stain. All right, so there is the his card. Let's work on the hers card. Now this one, it goes together the very same way. All right, so same dimensions for everything. I think I forgot to tell you the width of the designer series paper here. It's 2 inches wide and 5 inches long. So I think I did forget to tell you about that. So this one, what I did was actually did a little bit of sewing with my sewing machine. Yes, I use the same sewing machine that I grew up learning how to sew clothes and what have you on. So let me just give you a couple tips. First of all, use a needle for your sewing machine and dedicate it to paper. If you do also sewing on fabric and other mediums, make sure that you don't use the same needle as the one you're using for your paper. Number 2, I don't know if you noticed where I put my adhesive. I just put it right down the middle of my strip here, my 2-inch strip. The reason being, I want to do stitching along the edges. I don't want any adhesive to be there. So I'm just going to put some adhesive down the center where I'm not going to be running through my sewing machine. And that way it won't pick up any of that adhesive and gum up my needle then either. All right. So from here, I would run it through my sewing machine, and I already have one done to show you. So I just went ahead. I like a zigzag stitch. That's what I just used there. So I don't know if you can see that okay. If there's too much glare, I hope not. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get this down. Now, whenever I have stitching through like that, I do like to put a little bit of extra adhesive over that because it's kind of bumpy. I want to make sure that it adheres really well. So again, this is my Calypso coral layer, and it measures 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. All right, so here again I used the same sentiment, but this time I have a little strip. I don't even know, I think that might be like 3/4 of an inch. You know, whatever scraps you have left over of any of your projects, don't be afraid to use them on the insides then of your cards. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So I'm just going to put it down here. And there we go. Inside is decorated up cute. So next, let's go ahead and put it together. So just like the other one, down goes the layer. We just added some stitching to that. I just thought I would do it on the girls card. And now I have my little cute little stroller cut out the very same way with the same stitched oval and some dimensionals. And this one I'm just going to pop up in the center of my strip. So there we go. Here is my his and her cards using the Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper that I actually added color to with the direct to paper on this one. But like I said, don't have to. Here are the other ones then. Here's this one that I used the brayer. This one that I colored with my blends. And the one that I showed, it's not completely covered, then using the direct to paper. Let me bring in then too the rest of the projects that I can show you again. So here we go. One right after the other. Don't be afraid to tell me in the comments which one is your favorite. I don't know which one I think I'm kind of partial to. Gosh, I don't know. It's always tough to choose, isn't it? So thanks again for joining me, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. That way you won't miss out on any new videos. I have a blog. It's called lindaloucreates.com. So hop over there. You'll see these projects there and other projects as well. And while you're there, I do have a newsletter, and you can sign up while you're there. So thanks again for joining me. I sure hope you get a chance to create today. Bye now.